What's up, everyone, and welcome to Project XTalk, an Xbox podcast, episode number 111. That is a palindrome, presented by Save the Game Media. I'm your host, Kevin, aka The Muffin Man, and today I am joined by my very sick co-host, Mr. Physical Copy himself, Ethan. How you doing, buddy?
Hitting us with the big words right off the bat, the palindrome. I haven't heard that in ever. I don't even know what you're talking about, Kevin. For anybody out there listening, you could probably tell right now that I am messed up. I got that. I'm rocking like 100.6 right now. The fever's going. I got Vicks. I mean, there's Vicks Vapo Rub, Vicks Vapo Drops. I got a Vicks branded humidifier. I got the Vicks Shower Bomb. I got the Vicks Inhaler. I got the Vicks Cough Drop. I don't know if I already said that. You got the Vicks insert for the humidifier. Vicks is putting stamps on everything. And just, it's crazy. Like, if you told me Vicks had a bourbon, like a 12-year aged bourbon, I'd believe you.
You know what? Vicks does have?
What's that? Menthol.
Oh, I just lost image on my screen. Okay, we're back. We're back. I have no idea what that was about. All right. So Vicks actually has a NyQuil infused drink.
Oh yeah, my wife was telling me about that. The Vicks X NyQuil collab, the big collab.
Disgusting. You drink it, and then the Vicks Vapor Rub like fills up your chest and
that
comes out your nose. It's oh my god, it's disgusting.
Yeah, Ghostly March brought to you by Vicks. I was actually talking to my wife. I'm like, did we get sponsored by Vicks? And I just got a bunch of products or something one of these days. Like, I don't know where all this stuff came from. Like, my house is full of Vicks.
Like, I would gladly shell for Vicks.
Vicks Vapo Rub, though, you can't beat the OG. Like, all the other products, like this little jar is the best. And I don't like rubbing it on my throat or my chest like some of these people. It's greasy. It's nasty. You put it in your nose. Some people put it on their feet, Kevin.
Ew,
I've heard of it. Yes, I do, because they're disgusting animals. I don't know. But you put this right up in the nasal cavity. Like you're picking your nose with this stuff. It's the best. I got that right now. It's like a faucet in here.
Yeah, for sure. Well, apart from being the number one Vicks fanboy podcast, we are an Xbox podcast. We're live every Thursday right here on YouTube, even though this is a Friday episode because of Thanksgiving. 5 p.m. Eastern time. You can catch us. If you can't catch us live, we post every Friday morning on your favorite podcast service. While you're over there, please drop us a review, rating, whether that's Apple, Spotify. It really does help us grow. If you want to support us and get early access to all of Save the Game Media's content like No Limits, Frame by Frame, I Hate My Friends, and the plethora of exclusive Patreon content that we produce, head on over to patreon.com/Save the Game Media. Choose the tier that's right for you, like our current Patreon supporters. So shout out to Bucky Blue, Hopple, Alpaca Tom, Amon, SAZ, Fabulous Brianna, Brianna's mom, Brianna's brother, Brianna's wife, Anna Hudak, Nikolai at Night, Cypher, Primus, Brendan Myers, Marcus O'Neill, Always B, and Mimi J. Thank you all for your support. We appreciate every single one of you. Ethan, you're dying. We got housekeeping out of the way. So let's start the show by going around the room and asking one simple question. That question is, what have you been playing in your deathbed?
You know, this is weird because I want to ask you this. When you get sick, do you play a lot of video games? Is that like your thing?
No, it isn't. I don't play games when I'm sick. It is the one time I lay on the couch and watch TV. Usually like the
most mindless thing you can find, right?
Like, when I was last really ill with COVID, I laid on the couch and I wasn't even watching. It was just sound. I had Brooklyn Nine-Nine on and I would just hear it and be like, this is all I need in life right now.
Yeah, I've been doing nothing today but like watching food reviews on YouTube. Like, I swear to God. And time's going by so fast. Like, I've been trying to play video games. I downloaded like Gungrave Gore is on Game Pass. I downloaded it and I got to the main menu. I'm like, there's no way in God's name that I can play it right now. Like, I don't know. I don't even know where I am. So I haven't been playing games really the last couple of days. But before that, I finished up God of War Ragnarok. That's pretty much what I've been focusing on. I'm trying to clean up a lot of the final quests and everything, and trying to get as many trophies. I'm sort of on the fence now about whether or not I want to platinum it. There's too many games that are about to come out, and it's such a big game. So I don't know really if I'm going to platinum it or not. But I got a lot to talk about this game, and obviously we've been waiting for a while. We're going to have Wednesday, right? Our spoiler cast on it.
So our spoiler cast, we are recording Sunday.
Oh, okay. Sunday.
So it will be out this week for patrons, or for patrons, and then live for everyone else during the weekdays. Right. Wednesday we are doing our the Game Award prediction episode. That is what we're doing Wednesday. So that'll come out either the weekend or early next week. So we have tons and tons of extra content coming.
Yeah. A lot of extra stuff. So hopefully this clears up before Sunday. That would be nice. But I'm really excited to get into it then. So make sure everyone watch out for that. Other than that, I jumped into stop me if I talked about this last week because I can't remember. I jumped into Warzone for the first time with Garrett. Me and Garrett hopped into Warzone. I had never played Warzone before. The only battle royale type game I've ever really played was Fortnite, and I just got into that about this year. So when he hit me up, he's like, hey, let's try out this Warzone 2.0. I was like, yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Really fun. It's a really good time, and like all the XP carries over for all the guns that you get, because it's like you drop with just a pistol and you have to loot guns like any other battle royale, but it's just in Call of Duty. Really well done. I loved it. It's a really good time. We each upgraded to the Vault Edition, so we could get like half the battle pass. So we're really in it now. We're invested. So we're enjoying that. But I haven't played in the last few days, so he's probably upset at me, but whatever. I'm sick as a dog, but yeah, that's a really good battle royale. I heard there's been a lot of issues with it. A lot of people saying it's crashing and the ping's bad, and there's a lot of lag. I haven't experienced that, so I don't know what the issue is on that end. But I'll probably play a little bit more tonight. I'll probably force myself to play some games tonight, but those are really the only two games I've been messing around with, because once I finished God of War and I wanted to get into some of these Game Pass games that have been coming out this last week, like Pentiment and Gungrave Gore and everything, that's when I started getting sick, and I was like, well, I'm not playing games anymore. So next couple days I'll be hitting up a lot of indies. So next episode I'll have a lot to talk about.
You probably got sick at the worst possible time.
It was the day before Thanksgiving. Literally the day. It was rough.
Holidays and a bunch of games dropping. Although next week we get the two big hitters, I think, with Callisto Protocol and Midnight Suns really dropping next Friday.
Callisto,
so you'll be better. In terms of what I've been playing, I have rolled credits on Pokemon Scarlet. So I have done all of the mainline quests. I'm not going to complete the Pokedex. I'm very much a casual Pokemon fan these days. Rest in peace, Ethan. He's dying for the YouTube watchers. So, I meant to say happy birthday to.
I got sick on her birthday. Oof. On her birthday that night, we were out doing some like Christmas light stuff. On her birthday, I started getting sick. So happy birthday!
Worst possible time. But Pokemon, I enjoyed it. Okay, I said last week, like, yes, the game has a ton of technical issues, although I find the issues are mitigated if you play handheld mode. It really does run a lot better in that mode. I think it's because it's only running at 720p, so it doesn't have to like hit 1080 and the frame rate can be more stable. I really enjoyed it. I took about a 10-year break probably from Pokemon, and this is the best Pokemon game I've played since it came back. Wow. So like I jumped back in with Sword and Shield. I played Arceus, and now I've played Scarlet. And this is, I think, the best of those three since I've reignited like playing the Pokemon games. We will do, I think, a review for Save the Game Boy, our patron exclusive Nintendo monthly podcast. If that interests you, $1 a month for December, I think. Ethan, I know you and Taylor are usually on that show with me. I might give you the month off. All right.
I got a bone to pick with Nintendo though, Kevin. Okay. They are the least consumer friendly business in this entire industry. And I'm telling you, I bought Pokemon Violet. You guys have been hearing me talk about it. If you watch Save the Game Boy, any of our other content I'm on, you've known that I've been excited for this Pokemon game because it combines Arceus, which I really enjoyed Arceus's gameplay, and it combines that traditional Pokemon loot that I haven't been a part of in so long. So I buy Violet. digitally. I never buy games digitally. You guys know I'm Mr. Physical Copy. I made the cardinal sin of buying this game digitally because I was on vacation when it came out, and I'm like, I have to play it right now. I don't want to wait any longer. I don't want to wait the 2 days until I get back to go to GameStop. And so I got it, downloaded it, played through the first 30 minutes or something, and it wasn't until the next day that I figured out that you can't play a digital Nintendo game on the other account that's on the Switch. So I'm like, because my wife wanted to do a playthrough. And so like she tried and she's like, yeah, I don't have access to this. It won't let me. And I've tried looking up game share, Kevin. I know that's what you're going for. You can't do the game share. It's not a thing, apparently. I've looked at everything and everything's telling me I can't do it. And then Pokemon, screw you. You only allow one save. What kind of modern video game only allows one save? That's crazy. That's bananas. It doesn't make any sense to me. So shout out to Pokemon for making it impossible to play the game for more than one person, and this terrible company for not allowing me to just game share with my own wife. So unfortunately, it came back to bite me in the butt that I didn't buy the physical copy. So from now on, digital copies garbage. I'm not doing it.
So I think what I'm reading here is that in order to share digital games, you need to make multiple profiles on your Switch, but have them all linked to the same Nintendo account.
What?
So
What?
this is a very quick Google search. So like,
but does that even make sense?
No. Her profile would have to be linked to your Nintendo account because then it recognizes it has access to those digital games, which doesn't make sense because like, what if she wants to buy, like they all have to be on one account? Like Nintendo, you're behind the ball.
I don't get it. I mean, I thought PlayStation was bad, Kevin. Good Lord.
PlayStation is good at game sharing. It works exactly the same way as Xbox.
Yeah, but it's terrible at like the upgrades, the PS5 upgrades and everything. Remember that whole fiasco in the PS5? Terrible. Yeah. Nintendo, what are you doing though?
Yep. So I've finished Pokemon up. We're gonna do a review on Save the Game Boy. I've also been playing a game I don't think I can mention I'm playing. I will say that early next week you will find out what I've been playing. And
you got mad about this one. You didn't respond as to why you got mad, so I'm excited.
Yeah, you'll find out. I think I'm gonna have a special guest from our friends over at Carpool Gaming join me for this discussion. So, Luke Lore, shout out. Thanks for stopping by. Xbox Expansion Pass. Everyone go check out Luke. But he says Nintendo is awful and it's infuriating how they get rewarded.
I know. You could give me dog shit and put the Nintendo label on it and I'll buy it for $70. You know what I'm saying?
I've very much given up the complaining about Nintendo thing because they just don't care. And it's like, I'm going to buy
the biggest thing that I'm upset about is because I broke my rule and I bought a game digitally and it bit me in the ass. You know what I'm saying? You cannot buy these games digitally. Digital games, you don't actually own the game. So I'd never again, Kevin.
Your wife bitter I didn't get to choose my starter.
Yeah, because I chose the starter.
Who'd you choose?
And then
Who'd you choose?
I chose the fire guy. He looks really dumb. He just looks at you like a dummy. He's so cute.
His evolutions suck.
I don't care. I love the fire type. I love burning up the grass types. He just looks so dumb looking up at me. I'm like, I gotta pick him. But yeah, I picked the starter because I played the first like 30 minutes of the game. And then I gave it to my wife and I'm like, yeah, just play on your account. And that's when we figured out she couldn't do an account. So I'm like, I guess you just got, and I couldn't even figure out how to get back to a main menu on Pokemon Violet and like start a new game. I couldn't even figure out how to do that. I just got frustrated. I said, here, just use my account. I guess I don't have the game. So it is what it is.
Yeah, that's a bummer. Well, you might get next month off. That's all I'm saying for one less show for you to do. So you'll be moving. It's a whole thing. All right. Yep. But we can jump into the news for this week. So grab a seat while I tell you this week's stories from the library. So story number 1 is a new Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive on the way. This comes from Andy Robinson over at Video Game Chronicles. Team Ninja has reportedly confirmed plans to reboot both Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive, according to a translation of a talk the developer's president had last week. Fumihiko Yasuda said during the G-Star conference that he was working to bring fans more news as soon as possible. Apparently, a slide shown at the end of his panel showed images of both Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive with the text, quote, "The future of Team Ninja, reboot of popular series," end quote. According to Nick from Xbox Era, he has also been told that Platinum Games will be the studio remaking Ninja Gaiden. Ethan, thoughts about Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive potentially coming back?
Cool. I mean, neither of these are series that I really have too much of an attachment to. I jumped into Ninja Gaiden a bit when they dropped on Game Pass not too long ago. The games are dated. I not being a big super fan of Ninja Gaiden, jumping into those games now, I was like, yeah, they're kind of old, but it is what it is. But I'm really excited for any fan base to get their games back. I know Ninja Gaiden has a huge following. What was the other one's a fighting game, right?
Yes, Dead or Alive,
Dead or Alive, yeah.
traditional Dead or Alive as a fighter.
What's funny is the only way I know Dead or Alive is because of XPlay doing a review. The old XPlay, not the new one that was garbage. The old XPlay, they did a review on the volleyball game or whatever they did. Straight up game for perverts. Definitely couldn't be made nowadays. But they reviewed it back then on national television, showed everything. And I remember being a kid being like, God damn, what is going on with this? So that's the only way I know this brand or IP. But it's a fighting game. So I thought you could definitely talk about this. Is this even on your radar for fight? There's so many fighting games out there right now that are just objectively better and more popular. I mean, is this even something you want back in the fighting community?
I would like it back personally. I liked the old school Dead or Alive games, playing them on like the original Xbox. I think they're very fun fighters. I it is funny because I was going to bring up the fact that most people know this series for Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball, and whether that is a good thing or a bad thing is up to you. I know you said the game wouldn't fly these days. I personally think, if they're bringing back Dead or Alive, maybe just.
You think they're making Dead or Alive Beach Volleyball in 2022?
Maybe just give it a shot. Like
no chance in hell they're pulling that off.
Yeah, that game would. I think it'd be okay if they released it Japanese only. I think
because nobody's playing that game for the writing.
Western sensibilities have gotten a little too uptight to understand that game is.
They've always been uptight.
Just for fun, but
yeah,
I don't know. In terms of fighters, yes, I would like to see Dead or Alive, but the big news for me is Ninja Gaiden. I loved Ninja Gaiden back in the day. Still, I think the hardest games I've ever played were the Ninja Gaiden games. Not the Sigma story, because they made those ones bad. All right, the original. If you go play like Ninja Gaiden Black and the original Ninja Gaiden series are incredibly difficult. Those were Dark Souls before Dark Souls, except you don't have to move at a snail's pace. You don't have to slowly switch, like fast, high octane combat. That is what Ninja Gaiden is about. And it's not something we really see. I know that Wolong, the other game Team Ninja's putting out next year, is more similar, getting more elements of Ninja Gaiden into the Souls-like genre. It's still not there. So I really would like them to see, to bring back a game that is very much, hey, it's not it's kind of like a Souls game in difficulty, but the gameplay is not the traditional Souls, because that would appeal to me. That would give me more of a realistic opportunity to play it, because I can't do the slow dodge, like the slow rolls, the parrying, the whole Souls like combat just doesn't vibe with me.
Yeah, and I know both of these games are part of the same connected world. Like the main character in Ninja Gaiden's a playable fighter in Dead or Alive or something like that. So that's kind of cool. They're kind of bringing them back at the same time. But yeah, like I said, I'm always excited when these older games that still have this cult following, they get rejuvenated in platinum games. I mean, I can't say that they don't miss, because they've missed plenty of times in recent years, but we know Platinum Games to be a developer that can pump out really great content. So I think if they're given some free creative control and they're not really under the umbrella of any crazy corporation anymore, they can just get this done really well. So I'm excited for people that are excited.
If Platinum is the studio working on Ninja Gaiden or Dead or Alive, who knows? Maybe they could be doing both or one or the other. But just because Nick from Xbox Era said Ninja Gaiden, I'm not overly filled with confidence, because their most recent, Babylon's Fall wasn't quite up to the standards of, a video game.
Yeah, but that was that's Square Enix putting pressure on them. That was a live service game that they're not even that's not their MO, is to do live service games. That was something Square Enix just forced down their throats. I don't know if you could really judge them for that. You know what I'm saying?
It'll be, listen, they hit or they miss.
Yeah.
Astral Chain I thought was a hit. I really like that game. I know a lot of people didn't vibe with. So we'll have to wait and see personally if they're even doing anything with Ninja Gaiden.
Right. Yeah.
This could like rumor mill people.
Yeah. Could be completely fake.
But awesome. Glad to see. I'm always in favor of new, as long as it's not a remake. Give me a new. Oh, he's dying. He's dying. Oh no, it's getting him. Rest in peace. I'll do the show solo without you. That's what you would have wanted. Your body will just lay there.
Doing my best to survive.
Story number 2. Splinter Cell remake gets new details. In a recent video interview, creative director Chris Audi revealed that the remake will allow players to complete the game without killing anyone, something that wasn't possible in the first game, stating, quote, "Stealth is an extremely important pillar for us, and we aim to incorporate modern design philosophies, improving the minute-to-minute stealth gameplay that was so special in the original. Sam, being the ultimate covert field agent, has an enormous array of tools and abilities, gadgets, and movements at his disposal."
Cool. Yeah. I mean, I think this is how you sell stealth games to a modern gaming audience because, back then the old Hitmans and everything. I mean, stealth or like the old Splinter Cells or anything or the old Metal Gear Solid stealth games were kind of novel. But if you look at them now, they're kind of just bare bones. If you're going to try and sell like a straight up stealth game in 2022 or beyond, I think you have to have all the bells and whistles on it. You need to have a lot of choices that a player can make. Like we saw Hitman 3 come out last year, or was it this year? It was last year. That was a big hit. Really great game. I had a blast, and Hitman let you do pretty much anything you wanted to, like in that sandbox that you had on each level. Metal Gear Solid 5 is a game I played this year, came out a few years ago. Really great stealth game, allows you to make a lot of different choices based on how you like to play the game. You can play it traditional and stealthy like and not kill anybody and do that sort of thing, or you can go in with guns blazing and a tank and go absolutely hog wild on people. I mean, I think that's really how you sell a stealth game in modern times. So this is really cool to see. I love these sort of stealth games. I've been getting into them the last couple of years, like I said, Hitman 3 and Metal Gear Solid 5. So to see Splinter Cell come back, I did play a very old Splinter Cell. I couldn't tell you what the name is on the original Xbox, and I remember you could like shoot out lights and everything.
Yeah,
I remember that being such a novel thing in gaming, was to be able to shoot out lights. And I don't even know if I got through like the first mission in that, but I remember thinking that was the coolest thing in the world. So Splinter Cell's cool. And I'm excited to see it, get some more flowers and get some more games. Because again, this is another example of a big cult following, a community that's been begging for this for so long, and just like Ninja Gaiden, they're getting it again. So hopefully it pays dividends. Hopefully it's a good game. I'm excited.
I refuse to believe Splinter Cell is actually coming back until it's like downloaded on my console. It's been a want for so long. I've played every Splinter Cell game. I love Splinter Cell. I've always loved stealth games, especially Splinter Cell, especially co-op Splinter Cell. That is my jam. Killing people and like messing, like scaring the AI. Because like in Chaos Theory, you used to be able to kill people and then like kick them down the stairs so their dead bodies would just slide in front of their friends. It was the funnest. No, the most fun. Sorry, funnest is the word. Most fun co-op that I had is probably as a young child. And yes, I was a young child playing this game. That might not be appropriate. Rest in peace again, Ethan. I think this is great. More options for games is the better. If people want to do pacifist runs, if they want to do full aggression runs, they should have the option. Do I think that it should be the focus for a stealth game? Yes, I actually do. I think you should be able to get through the majority, if not all, of a stealth game without killing people, because that is the whole premise behind it. So one of my big complaints with Plague Tale Requiem was that I felt like it leaned too much into more aggressive behavior, especially compared to a Plague Tale Innocence, where a Plague Tale Innocence is very much, if you get seen, you're going to die. And Asobo, while I love Requiem, obviously, and Innocence, I think Asobo did recognize, hey, stealth isn't really the genre it used to be. A lot of players don't like this, so they did ease
Exactly.
up
Yeah.
and give like, oh, if you get caught, it's not automatic game over. It isn't, you have more aggressive. You get the crossbow, you get new options to be more aggressive while still preserving a stealth element. So as long as they can
Yeah.
toe that fine line where it doesn't feel like, oh, I'm a super soldier murdering everyone when I shouldn't be, that is what I'm
Yeah.
looking for. At the same time, don't make this game like Hitman. I do not like Hitman. I know it's a
Mm.
hot take. I just it doesn't click with me. You get a mission and it's like solve it any way you want. Well, I end up not doing anything. And the things I do try to do is like you didn't give me enough directions, so I'm gonna fail at whatever I'm trying to do here.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, back to what you were saying is how you have to have all these bells and whistles, like I said, to sell these games in 2022. And like as much as I respect how much it did for the industry and how great of a following it has, you couldn't sell Metal Gear Solid 1 right now to the public. Like if it was a new thing, you probably couldn't sell the old SOCOMs from PlayStation 2. Like all of these sort of stealthy type of games where you had to take a certain approach and you got punished heavily if you got detected and everything. That's not something that can really fly anymore. At least I don't think in that context. I think there are games where if you get detected and attacked, like Elden Ring, for example, like there's a lot of really hard games still out there, but a lot of players these days, they don't want to not be able to overcome a challenge. Like you were saying, like how Asobo had to change it up in Requiem. Like you have to give us an opportunity to overcome a challenge, or else you're just putting in a barrier that's there to make it harder on us without giving us like a good challenge. So I definitely agree with you on that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they did share some more screenshots and stuff. So like the game is being developed. I will anticipate further details and then I will start getting hyped. Okay. But we can move on to our final story and probably the biggest one. But honestly, the malaise in my brain about talking about Call of Duty and
Oh,
Activision Blizzard. We could have put the FTC report from Political in here. I
nope.
I just can't be bothered. So we went with this one. Xbox has apparently offered Sony a 10-year deal for Call of Duty. According to Windows Central, a new report in the New York Times says that Microsoft has offered a 10-year deal to PlayStation to ensure Call of Duty has access on the platform. This comes a week after Xbox CEO Phil Spencer says he was open to a longer deal. Sony, quote, declined to comment on the 10-year licensing deal report while claiming that Microsoft has a history of dominating industries while claiming gamers' choices will disappear without explaining exactly what choices they're referring to.
I mean, it goes back to that Wall Street Journal interview that Phil Spencer did, and I mean, he said it in as many different ways as he could that they're going to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. And he also said in that you can't put infinity on a contract. You can't put forever on a contract. It's just
Mhm.
nothing. It's not something you can do anywhere. So, obviously this is a move to try and show regulators like, hey, we're not going to be holding this IP hostage. Basically, we're going to put it on. We're offering a 10-year deal, which I think is more than fair. That's well into the PlayStation 6's life cycle. You know what I mean? Or probably like entering the beginning stages of the
A
PlayStation
year or
6
two,
life.
most
But yeah,
likely.
yeah, because I bet you we got what 8 more years on this generation, I would say.
According to VGC, they just put out a report that I linked to our Discord. It said new consoles by 2028.
Damn, that's actually sooner than I thought. So yeah, within the first few years of the next console generation's life cycle. But I mean, yeah, like you were saying at the beginning, this is just getting annoying at this point. Like, let's just get it over with. Obviously, the FTC stuff is crazy. We'll see. There's we talked a little bit about this before, how there's been a wave over Washington. This is one of the only things anyone can ever agree on anymore is to hate on big tech. And some of that is definitely justified, but I don't think it's justified when you go after Xbox like or PlayStation or Nintendo or the video game industry. Like, relax. You guys should be going after search engines and social media sites that gather data and sell data, and there's a
Mhm.
lot more going on than Xbox having Call of Duty as an internal IP. This is just getting silly. So this is just them filing a lawsuit to try and score some political browning points so they can say they're actually doing something against big tech, when in reality they're just sweeping it under the rug and trying to distract us. So it is what it is. We'll wait and see.
I'm still very much in the mind that the deal is going to go through. Every regulatory like major one, like the FTC, the EU, the CMA, are all going into whatever second phase investigations. Whether the FTC files an antitrust whatever remains to be seen. Politico said it's going to happen according to their sources, but even then, that doesn't mean the deal is going to die. It's still most likely, from what if you want to go listen to an actual lawyer talk about it, go listen to like Hogue Law on virtual legality. It's still very much likely that the only thing that's going to happen is Microsoft's going to have some concessions. We're going to not make so-and-so exclusive or give some sort of deals to avoid.
They're already doing that.
And they're already, that's what I'm saying. They're proactively doing those things. If the 10-year reported deal for Call of Duty is out there, it's in PlayStation. Like 10 years, in my opinion, completely more than they needed to offer. This is ridiculous. Like giving PlayStation 10 years to make a game that can compete with Call of Duty is completely feasible. You have no excuse now. Bring back SOCOM, bring back whatever IP you want, make a new IP. You can spend the next 10 years devoted to making one shooter the pinnacle of your FPS platform going forward.
Yeah. And that's ample opportunity to catch up to the market. And even then, you're probably going to have Call of Duty past the 10 years, right? Like, unless Phil retires and some guy comes in that wants to upend everything. I mean, you never know. These things can be temporary because Phil Spencer isn't going to be around forever. But as long as he's in charge, I mean, I don't see he's been very upfront about how they want to keep it on PlayStation. So, yeah, I just think it's ridiculous that these guys are like, if you're going to investigate anyone or try and file a lawsuit, why aren't you going after Microsoft proper for operating systems? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many other bigger monopolies within the tech world right now. And I really do think they're just picking on gaming right now because it's an easy target and they want to score some browning points, in Washington.
It's also something they don't understand.
It's something they have absolutely no clue about. I mean, not that they have any clue about tech anyways, but Xbox, Sony, Nintendo, they're not the big tech. It's Microsoft, and I know Microsoft owns Xbox, but they're separate entities. Big tech is like Google, Microsoft, Twitter, Facebook, like all that stuff. But it's just silly, and it's going to drag out like everything else is dragged out with this story. And we're just going to have to keep getting bombarded with these headlines until it finally goes through. So here's hoping it's quick. We'll see.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say. Every week we're talking about this. I bet something will come out next week where Phil Spencer is saying the exact same thing he said for the last 6 months, and everyone will act like it's brand new breaking news, and I will be annoyed. So we can move on to our viewer questions segment for the day. So both these questions come from It's Kyle. If you'd like to write in, you can tweet at us at Save Game Media over on Twitter and Hive now. All right, buzz. We're on Hive Social.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so if that's your new platform, if you left Twitter, if you're like Elon, no thank you, I'm going over here. You can also I don't know what they're called over there. You can tweet at us on Hive. I don't know what the word is. Or you can join our Discord. The link is down below. Come chat games with us. You can assign a role for your specific show. So if you only want to get tagged for this show, it's there. The options, we're making them available. But the first question is, it's been over 2 years now. What are the 3 best games you've played on Series X? Sorry, copied and pasted that horribly.
I'm going to try and stick to Xbox, like, not just exclusives, but like either timed exclusives or things that were primarily promoted on Game Pass and all that. Because I could sit here and just tell you Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Like, I don't want to do all that. It's actually kind of hard to think because let's be real here, Xbox still doesn't have any damn games. I guess I should say Forza Horizon 5 is definitely in my top 3. One of the only racing games I've ever gotten into. So that was a blast, and I still fire it up every now and then. As much as I hate it and as angry as I've been at it, Halo Infinite, when that game dropped that December, they had that drop during the 25 year anniversary or 20-year anniversary or whatever it was. That was one of the biggest hype moments, I think, for the Series X. I mean, that was a huge deal when they dropped that and everybody flooded online and it went crazy on Twitch. I mean, we were all part of it. It was really great. And I played the hell out of that game for months and months and months until I dropped off because they just refused to put out content. It's crazy. So Halo Infinite was definitely a big one for me. Forza Horizon 5. And I think this is more of a soft spot because it was the first game I ever played on the Series X. I think of the Medium. The Medium was the first Series X game that I ever played after getting the Series X. So there's kind of a soft spot in my heart for it. And I really enjoyed it too. It was a great game. I know you enjoyed the Medium. You know what I'm talking about. It's a great sort of horror walking sim type of game. And it had a compelling story. It was really interesting and it showed off the power of next gen consoles to me right after I had gotten a next gen console. So it was really, really great to get that in my hands and play through it. It was a good time.
This one's hard for me. I'm scrolling through all these games.
You see, you play too many games, so it's hard to narrow things down.
Yeah. Like I keep thinking, oh, that's probably it, and then I see another game. Ooh, I really like that one. So I'm gonna go with a Plague Tale Requiem. Obviously, I think that game I adore it beyond words. I don't know when we get to our game of the year big discussion with everyone here at Save the Game Media. I will probably wax poetic about that more, but I really love Plague Tale Requiem. Tales of Arise, I would put in there.
Good shout out. Yep.
I think that's a good shout. Bringing the Tales series back to Xbox after a long hiatus, and they knocked it out of the park with one of my favorite Tales games. It runs beautifully. It's super fun. The story's really good. So that one I think should be on there. And then I'm torn on my third choice because it's got to be, I think it's probably an indie game. And I want to, it's most likely Nobody Saves the World, to be honest with you. And it's not it has nothing to do with Series X, though. It's not like, oh, this graphical masterpiece. It's literally just this was one of the most fun experiences I've had since the Series X came out.
Yeah. By the way, sorry for making faces. I just took some vitamin C tablet thing, and it is so sour.
I love vitamin C tablets.
Sour. It's nuts. So I'm making faces over here, but I'm listening.
Yeah, so I would say probably Nobody Saves the World. I was thinking about giving Tinykin a shout, but I think just the fun factor alone, playing that game co-op, blowing through it in an entire weekend, like dedicated, that is one of the most fun experiences I've had since the new consoles came out. So awesome. I would go with those three. You got two great single player games, then you got a good indie co-op game to go for. Yeah. And then he also has another question. He says, do you think Xbox will do a redesign like how Sony is going to make the PS5 smaller?
Real quick too, though, I think this is a funny game to shout out. MLB The Show 22 or 21, both of those Sony titles. They came to Game Pass. It was the first baseball game I'd played since 2K had it back in the early 2010s. So that was great for Sony to come over and put that on Game Pass for us. Shout out Sony. So those that was really fun to play. They're not in the top three though. They were good though. Redesign, yeah, it's gonna happen, right? They're gonna make a Pro or whatever they want to call it, and they're gonna do. I don't know if they're gonna do a slim version. I'm sure PlayStation is gonna do a slim version. You know, yeah, it's gonna happen. It's how you make money in the industry. You're not gonna sell the same product for 8 years. You're gonna have to come out with not a special edition, but a more souped up edition, at least one that makes it look sleeker. So I don't think it's a no brainer to me.
I'm still hopeful we don't get Pro versions. I don't want them. I don't think there's a need for them. We're 2 years in. We haven't even touched the power of these consoles, despite what some people are out there trying to push you believe. Like, just because the developers can't optimize
Series
their games. I do think they're going to have slim versions. I do. PS5 definitely is going to get a slim version because that thing's a monster. I could see Xbox getting a slim version. I will say, the Series S, though, I don't know how you can make that thing any smaller. I saw it for the first time in real life at Extra Life when Sean Capri pulled it out of his backpack, and I've seen it in Best Buy just today. It's literally so small.
It is such a tiny little thing. It's cute, honestly. Yeah, my in-laws got it. You know, it just looks like a little box sitting there. It's the DVD player they got. It's bigger than that.
I gotta tell you, with all the Series S sales right now for Black Friday, if you want an Xbox, go grab a Series S. They're on sale everywhere. I was just like, should I just buy one? It'd be great for
Just to
extra
have one.
life just to have one extra life next year. Like, I was
Hey, I
like, no,
mean,
no, I
you
can't do
got
it.
the money, might as well.
Nah. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be doing that. So I didn't. I'm not gonna do it. But it is a very tempting offer. So if you're looking to get into the Xbox ecosystem, there are tons of deals. I saw it for as low as like 180, I believe, was the lowest I saw it going for. They had Series
Crazy.
X on sale for 100 off the other day. So
That's nuts.
they're making it very easy. All right. It's not hard to get. Just go grab them. Best Buy today had them stocked in the middle of the floor, just lined up.
They had enough like that.
Yeah, they're just a pile of them.
Good for them. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, that will do it for our show this week. A bit of a shorter, bite-sized episode. It is Thanksgiving week for anyone that didn't know
Yeah,
here in the
yeah.
U.S., so not much going on. But you can use the extra time not spent listening to us to go play some great games like Evil West. I got to check that out still.
Gungrave Gore just came out yesterday or something.
I downloaded it. I don't know when I'm going to get to it. It's one of those like it looks cool, so I downloaded it so
Yeah.
I don't forget about it. But it is very much like when the hell am I going to play this game?
Mhm.
People online say it's a janky mess, but like it also just kind of like okay, it could be fun though. Like that's all I
Sometimes
care
a
about.
janky mess is
Is all
exactly
you
what you
need.
need,
It's
Kevin.
all
You
you
know what I'm
need.
saying? So yeah.
Well, Ethan, where can people find you?
In the Discord, but for the next couple days, nowhere. I'm dead. It's over with.
And you can find me at the Muffin Mon on Twitter and Hive. All right. That's a 1 and 7 I and 0 and 7 A. Follow us at Save Game Media over on those social media platforms. You can hit our link tree for all of our actual links.
Oh yeah.
Everything is over there. Come join the Discord. If you would like to send in questions for our God of War Ragnarok review discussion spoiler cast, tweet them, send it Hive, send in the Discord, and we will do that on Sunday. Hopefully, Ethan won't be dying by then. But until next Thursday, we will see you guys. Goodbye. Peace.